Hello friends, today we are going to look on release procedure for purchasing document part 2. In my last video, that is in part 1, we have discussed about the characteristics and created ZDoc type. That is the first characteristics we have created for document type. And I could not continue as my Windows got corrupted. So I have to reinstall my Windows, and again I am here with the second part of release procedure or release strategy. So now we will be creating the second characteristics or the condition, that is plant. So for that we'll have to go to the configuration part, that is SPRO IMG, then materials management, purchasing. For purchase requisition we have to maintain the release strategy. So for release strategy for purchase requisition, here we see release procedure as we have seen last time. Next, procedure with classification. Now we will be creating the characteristics for plant. Now we will before creating the plant characteristics, we will check for the document type we have created. See, this was the document type last time we have created. We will display it, and this is the configuration we have. Yes, it is correct. So now we will be creating a second characteristics, that is the plant. So for that, again we will put the characteristics name as Z underscore plant, and we will create it, here we put the description as plant. Next, we give the data type as char format, that is character format, and number of characters, that is in plant how many characters are there. So by default it is 4 provided by SAP. Now if you want to give the value assignment for plant as multiple values, then we will select the multiple values. I suggest you always select multiple values for any characteristics, because in near future it will, if a single plant is there, but in near future if it multiples, then you can simply add the plant value. Okay, so here multiple values is must. Next, we will go to the additional data. Here put the table name, that is CEBAN, as you remember in my last tutorial, and the field for plant is Rex, WERKS. Okay, now we simply save it. This is the database format data taken from PAB dictionary. Continue. So now you see the characteristics Z plant is being saved. So characteristics of plant has been created. So we will write it down in our notepad, that is second we have created the plant. Okay, next we will be creating the class. Okay, now these characteristics is to be assigned to the class. So we go back, here we find the next step is the edit classes. Execute it. Here the skin appears for the class. Now for class we put the name as suppose say ZPR class. Since it is for PR, we put as ZPR class. Okay. Now the class type for release strategy is 032. It is being provided by SAP, and now we create it. So after creation, this screen appears. So in the basic data, we put the description like class for PR, we can mention it. Next we go to the char tab or the characteristics tab. In this tab we will be assigning the characteristics to the class. Okay, so the two characteristics which we have created, we simply copy and paste it over here. Again copy and paste. Now you press enter. All the details will be fetched, and next is the save. That's all. Now the class has been created by the name ZPR class. Okay, I hope you understand till now. ZPR underscore class. Okay, next is the release procedure. For that we'll have to go to setup procedure with classification. Execute over here. Now we will be creating the release groups. Double click on this. Another screen will be appearing. In that release group will be created. At the same time, this class is to be linked with the release group. Let us type down the release group. Now here you can see a number of release groups are being attached with the class. Okay, so we will be creating our own release group. For that, either you can do the new entry or you can just copy it. You simply do the new entry, give the release group as test TE. Okay, now you put the overall release as ticked, and the class is ZPR class. Okay, now you give the description as PR class, no problem here. Enter, one entry chosen, and save it. You see the error is coming. Please check release classes, see long text, some information error is displaying. You just come back, and you see the error was due to this. In overall PR requisition, this is already overall ticked, so we will have to remove this, and in our release strategy we will have to put the overall release purchase requisition. Okay, now save it, and release group has been created with the name TE. Okay, while saving, it will be generating the TR, that is transport request. We continue it again. Now you see the data is saved. Now we come back again and go to the release codes. Release codes are the labels of higher up authorities who are going to release the purchase requisition. Okay, in this section we will be assigning the release group, and we will be creating the release code. Release code are the labels who will be releasing the purchase requisition. Workflow we don't use over here, and we give the description, that is the release label person designation description. Okay, so for this we will have to go for new entries. Click over here. For release group, we know we have already created TE, so release group should be appearing in this check table. You just click on F4 help. Here you check the TE PR class has been displayed. You select it, and for the code you can suppose manager will be the first releaser, so put MGR, or you can put MG, no problem, and description as manager. Okay, similarly the next level will be assigning as the senior manager, so the release group will be the same, that is TE, and the code will be changing. So senior manager say SR. Okay, and the description senior MA manager. Okay, next level will be the say HOD. Okay, so HO you can put the code, and here you put HOD, right? Next, suppose I am taking the 4 level code. Okay, so release group again TE, and say HOD, then chief, CH you can say, and chief. So we are taking an example of 4 level of person to be released the purchase requisition. Okay, so here we give I repeat, TR the release group TE, and the release code is MG, that is description is manager. Similarly SR for senior manager, HO for HOD, CH for chief. Now we will simply save it. Okay, data was saved. Now come back. Next is the release indicator. Release indicator means it is simply, suppose you are driving a bike. What does it shows in the indicator? Speedometer. It shows, indicates that how much speed you are running. Okay, so similarly in release strategy, the release indicator shows whether the PR has been fully released, partial released, or not yet released, or that means blocked. So here we will be taking 2 indicator, that is S or the blocked, and 2 as ready to create RFQ or purchase order. Okay, so we won't change in over here, we will be taking the values. Okay, so again come back. Now this is the final stage, that is release strategy. Double click on this. We will be creating the release strategy as per our requirement. Some previously created release strategy are there. I would like to delete all this. I don't want this. Now here again new entries we will be doing it. Now release group, as we know, it is T. Again from F4 help we will take the T. Okay, now release strategy, we take the code, suppose JK, and the description means say release strategy RS release STR for ITS DPT. Okay, so this JK code is the release strategy for ITS department, right? So in ITS department who will be releasing, you can define the release codes. Suppose first the release will be the senior manager, so you take here, you select MG. Now second level it will be releasing the senior manager, you take the code. Third HOD will be releasing. Fourth chief will be releasing. Okay, you press enter, all the details will be appearing. Next we will going to the release prerequisite, select on it. Here we find a matrix box, so the upper diagonal box you should not consider, you consider only the lower box. Okay, you select it, that is you select here. The selection procedure will be from top to bottom, left to right. So first select this, then down, click here, then right, again down towards right. So this is the process you should select. Now again continue. Now next is the release status. Select it. Here you find when or no one is being selected, the status of the PR is blocked. If managers release, then also it is blocked. If senior manager and manager releases, then also block status. Then till HOD is being released, then also it is blocked. Unless and until chief releases, then only the PR is ready for the fully released and ready for creation of purchase requisition or purchase order. Okay, continue. Now we should save it once. That I save. Now we go to the classification. Here we put the values which we have taken the characteristics at the beginning. Okay, you remember we have taken the characteristics as purchasing requisition document type and the plant, so it is appearing over here. So here suppose what will be the value will be the document type, that is NB, standard purchase requisition, and plant, the plant value, that is here I am taking 9999 4 nines. Okay, now simply you could no, you there is no option to save. You come back, it comes to the same screen. Next we go to the release simulation. Click on release simulation. So really, clicking on the release simulation, your small window will be appearing. In this section, final release MG SR HO CH code will be displaying. Suppose you don't find in some problem appears, when some problem appears in final release you won't find these codes which were we have taken for the release code. So in that case you simply think that some problem has arisen and you will have to configure the release procedure from the beginning. So be aware of this. Okay, this is my personal experience I am sharing with you. Next we simulate release. Click on this. So the next screen appear. You simply click the release possible over here, double click on it. It shows, system shows release already affected. Second, if you then also release affected, double click, the release affected. Here since HOD has been released, it is the simulation we are following. Since HOD till HOD has been released, the status of the PR is blocked till now. Now what we have seen is when chief will be releasing the purchase requisition, it will be changing to RFQ, or you can create RFQ or the purchase order. Okay, so this is the simulation. We simply close it, again close it, and finally we have created the release strategy for purchase requisition. Now we will be testing it. Okay, we have created the release strategy with the combination of NB and plant code 9999. So with this combination, if the release strategy gets a hit, then we are success. So we will be creating a purchase requisition ME51N. Okay, press enter. Now we see this is the purchase requisition creation string screen, which I have already taught you how to create the purchase requisition. Here this is, as you know, this is the document type. It is NB I am taking, as in NB has been taken for the release combination. Now here we take the material to 1289, enter. Next we put the plant code, that is 9999, enter. Next we put the quantity, that is suppose 10, okay, and then again enter. We put the purchasing group, suppose 1100, enter. We put the valuation price, suppose I am taking 1 rupee as the price of the material, okay. Now this was the last entry we have fed it. Now we will check the purchase requisition, and if my release strategy will be appearing, it will appear near the text tab, okay. So in that case, if the release strategy appears, my configuration for the release strategy is success, okay. And same rule apply for at your end also. So I check. So you find the my release strategy triggered when I clicked on the check button. So we click on release strategy tab, and you see we have configured 4 levels. So all the 4 levels appear, that is manager, senior manager, HOD, chief. That means my purchase requisition will be released first by manager, then by senior manager, then by HOD, and last with the chief, okay. Now you save this and we display the purchase requisition. Next we will be releasing the purchase requisition with the T code ME54N, okay. Now again we will have to go for ME54N. Here we find my purchase requisition gets displayed, and the manager is ready to release the purchase requisition. Now the manager will first release over here by clicking on it, and the status, it has gone released. Second, that is the senior manager, will take over here and the status is released. Now HOD will click over here and the status is released. Next, chief will be releasing, clicking over here, and finally the RFQ got release indicator as 2. Suppose I am reversing it, you see the release indicator is blocked. So till HOD, the status of the purchase requisition or the indicator is blocked, okay. When chief will be releasing it, my status changes and it is ready to create the RFQ or the purchase order, okay. I hope you understand all the procedure and bit clear. I would like to go for better practice, and if you have any problem, any sort of problem, you can comment. You can call me as well, no problem, my number is there, so I can help you at any time, okay. Thank you, best of luck.